Okay, sorry about that. So we're going to take this and we're going to come down and we're going to come around to the feet, just like so. And we're going to cut that out. A nice big V cut. Alright, again, you want to be careful that you don't push too hard right into the back into the leg. But you do want to make a nice big, see how I did that? See the lines there? That's what you want to try to avoid, because those are hard to get rid of if you make them too deep, like I just did. So, it's better to do a little bit at a time than too much at once. So same thing here. You're going to go at the same angle, say as the corner when you come up. And then you're going to come back down. That's a little better. So you can do it a second time. You just want to be careful not to go too deep into the legs. It's hard to get rid of those marks if you dig it down too deep. So a lot of it's knife control on your part, feeling the wood where it's at when you cut through it and such. I'm going to need an ark, I believe. Hopefully my studio will float. I don't think so. But anyway, that rain's really coming down pretty good. They were calling for heavy rain all night tonight, so. But yeah, every year down there, somebody gets stuck. Somebody thinks they can get through it and all that. It just kind of cracks me up. It never fails. And you know, usually it's the younger people, but it's also, I've met a lot of older people that decided they didn't want to take the time to go around, and they end up getting rescued. Thank God for our firefighters and rescue people. I mean, seriously, what would we do without them? Willing to help us out, and they train all the time for that kind of stuff. And some people, you know, flash flooding, it can come up on you so quick. That's why they're so dangerous. That's why they're dangerous. Because you don't know it until you're in it. And I don't fault people on that all the time. You know, sometimes people aren't aware of the area, or where it's prone to flood more than other areas, especially if they're new to just moved here. We who have been here for a while, and even I learned from my mistake as well. So I think last spring we had some people rescued. I thought for sure it was in the paper. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to put a couple of knees in here a little bit later. We're going to do some more detail. But we're just getting it shaped up. We have the head shaped up. We've got the body shaped up. So that's looking good, folks. That's coming along pretty good. Alright. Again, I'm going to trim this down a little further. And then this gets trimmed. Now the back side, it has a tail, so what I'll do here is I'll just put a little bit of a tail here, not by much, just a little. Let's do it this way, and just like so. Alright, so it has a little bit of a tail on it, and I think that will work just fine. Alright, so on the back I want it a little bit shaped, so the hind end is going to be, of course, bigger. So we're going to just start scooping out. We're going to leave the shoulder area here, okay, where these two legs come up to, and we're just going to scoop out the back arch. He's going to be fun to paint. I haven't done a giraffe before until now. I don't think I have. sometimes I don't think I carve some, and then I go in my parents' house and I have this old shelving there with a lot of my very first carvings. One of these days I'll have to bring that out and do a video on the very first stuff to encourage you that we all started somewhere. And every so often I'll go, I don't remember carving that. So that's a then you know you've done a lot of carving when you can't remember. You know, you can't remember what you've done. But we're going to bring this down just a tad more. Oh, that's good. Yep. Make that whole area look much taller and bigger. That looks really good from this side. This side's a little too thick, so what we're going to do is we're going to take out the back side a little bit. I'm happy with the front. Alright? And maybe just take the front out a little bit and then thin it out again towards the center. You can have the illusions of things being much thinner than they are, and still have thickness in a piece. If you do relief carving, which is, if you're not familiar with what relief carving, oh, it finally got quiet. Okay, it stopped raining, stopped pouring anyway. Relief carving is just taking a flat piece of wood and making the picture stand out in a 3D form. A lot of times it's just the slightest cut can make the world of difference and a lot of it's depth and how deep you make the cut. If you undercut, I did relief a long time ago. I've done a few pieces, but I really just enjoy being able to hang onto a piece and use a knife for the most part. I really found the joy in those gouges the last couple of years, and I use very little of those tools, but I also realized what a benefit they are for texturing and that kind of thing, and a lot of you are finding that out now, so I was glad to pass that along. I'm going to scoop this out. I remember when we had calves, they had this like shoulder area that would come down, and this got scooped out where their neck would start. So we're going to scoop that out a little bit, just like what the calves have. Now we'll make that neck look smaller. So we're going to just kind of blend that in a little further. That's a little sticking out a little too far. Alright, that's good. And I remember those calves having